Uh, by now, the vast majority of the people in the West and the world are very, very angry and sick and tired of the ruling class and their fake show pretending to be a government. And it really is time to do something about it, but we need to understand the scale of the problem. There are about 1 million members of this satanic cult that murders children in industrial quantities. They just tried to kill us all with vaccines, or not. They were, and so they're fighting to the death. They know that they will be strung from lampposts if they're caught. But we need to understand that they're a small minority concentrated in positions of power. Now here's one person who we need to get rid of right away. Take a look at this video of Kash Patel lying under oath.
No credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay.
As you can see, he says that Epstein did not traffic any children. But in fact, 40 minors testified under oath that they were trafficked by Epstein. So he needs to be removed. Right there, that alone is a good reason to remove him. Remove people like that, then the FBI people can start, doing their job, which is to enforce the law. And the main thing they got to do is start arresting members of Chabad and this cult who are murdering and torturing children. This is the number one priority. And the military needs to be on the case. Now, here's an example of a Jewish child predator being caught by a citizen. He was trying to, lure an 11-year-old into sex, and he was caught.
You keep fucking pointing that finger at me, child predator, and you're gonna get your shit ringed. Now, maybe isn't a good answer to try to pick up little boys, is it? Is maybe a good answer? We got a child predator trying to take off here. Child predator going down. Child predator in Cohees trying to pick up little kids. Oh, I missed. This man's trying to pick up a little boy on the internet.
This is the sort of action that's going to be increasingly happen as these predators are hunted down and removed from our society. We need to do this. Now, the important thing, too, is we've got to get rid of this fake Donald Trump, okay? Take a look at this video of him meeting the king of Saudi Arabia, MBS. MBS is 6 feet tall. This guy is obviously shorter, so it's not Trump. Because remember, Trump is 6'3", the real one, who's been missing since June. So remember, if you're in the military, your commander-in-chief has been killed and replaced by a fraud. And notice that in the video that he's been given a hacksaw by MBS. That's the sort of a hint. They remember they chopped up that Washington Post columnist, Khashoggi? Well, he's saying, yeah, go ahead and kill all the journalists. And this same Trump has threatened death to 6 Democratic Party lawmakers who are all military veterans because they told the military not to commit war crimes, not to obey orders that are, criminal. And he says execute them. All right, these people, they're trying to kill us. They're desperate, they're dangerous, and they're fake. And this is a process that's been going on for a very long time. And Canada's just as bad. Here's another clip I want you to see. This is the Canadian anthem being turned off by the police.
national anthem, please. Don't bother me during the national anthem. Excuse me, don't
Don't touch my property, first of all. That's all Canada you just disrespected. You understand that? You understand what you just did? You disrespected our country, man. Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God bless Canada.
What the hell are they doing? You know, they no longer represent the people. They represent child predator Satanists, and they're the enforcement arm for that. They do not obey the law. They become a criminal organization. That's the Canadian Mounted Police, and the problem is always at the top. The rot is at the top. Now, the other thing that we really need to do is remove their control of the financial system. They have gained all this power because they create money out of nothing and put us into debt. The result is people, can no longer afford to buy houses. Their living standards are collapsing. And in the United States now, there's 1 million job shortages for people like mechanics, engineers, people who work in the real world are not available. Everyone's just being a YouTuber, and that's not the way to run an economy. Right now, the West is bankrupt, and it's going to keep getting bankrupt, and they're going to keep trying to beg China for money. And I'm asking the Chinese, do not lend money to these people. Let them go bankrupt. This needs to be done. We need to shut down their control of the financial system and this stock market, hallucination. And now, here's another clip I want you to watch. This is a young Canadian explaining how he can't possibly afford to buy a house. Just listen.
Our generation is cooked. We're going to be living in our parents' basements until we're 35 because I just spent $30 on 2 boxes of cereal and milk. Like, how do you expect me to move out of my house when that is 2 hours of work right there? That's equivalent to 2 hours of my life is 2 boxes of cereal and some milk. Absolutely ridiculous. Welcome to the Liberal government of Canada.
So this is what our leadership has done. They've destroyed the West, and it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. I was very disappointed that they managed to get money to keep their whole show going on until January. But we need the military to act, and they need to act as soon as possible. Now, the other thing I was told by military intelligence that the reason why they flip-flopped on the Epstein file release is that suddenly, first they say, oh yeah, it's horrible, it's on my desk, we're going to release all the videos. Then they say, oh no, it's a fake, it doesn't exist. Now they say, yes, we're going to release them, but I've been told by military intelligence, people who have access to the files, that they're making sure that no powerful people will appear in the files that are going to be released. So you will not see a video of Bernie Sanders raping a 4-year-old child, which we have eyewitness testimony to. All that is going to be deleted. So no, this is not going to work. And the other thing is we need to call out the fact that, these are actors, okay? We have several actors playing Trump, and we need to go after the people who are giving them their scripts. And these are people who try to hide in the background, like the Agnelli family, or Victor Emmanuel, the would-be Emperor of Rome, or the, Jean-Michel de Rothschild pretending to be Brigitte Macron. These are the kind of people we need to drag out in chains and put in jail. And of course, Benjamin Netanyahu. He is a war criminal, mass murderer. He needs to go. It's time to take action. I call upon the military and the police to immediately demand action, and any superior who's blocking them is compromised, because no sane military man would agree to support mass murdering pedophiles unless they were compromised. So if you find someone in your chain of command who refuses to take action, arrest them. You're legally allowed to do that because they're breaking the law. Okay, it's time to end this. We're all very, very angry, and this cannot go much longer. If it does, we're all going to be working for the Chinese. That's what's going to happen. We have the potential to, put China, have China eat our dust, because if the West reverts to, seeking the truth, using the scientific method, meritocracy, we would way outperform the Chinese. But as things stand now, it's the opposite. Most U.S. corporations now depend on Chinese money. That's what it's come to. So please, take action. And I ask, in particular, Colonel Douglas Macgregor to call his military contacts and just march into Mar-a-Lago and all those other places and just round these people up. Enough is enough. Okay, well, that's what I have to say for myself today. Now I'd like to answer questions from readers and viewers.
Hi, Ben. We have our first question for today. What do you think is up with Kash Patel? I don't think I've ever seen a politician where the guilt is so visibly on his face. Do you think he's on the Epstein list, or do you think he's being blackmailed? What's Kash's deal?
Well, I don't know exactly what they have on him, but his behavior is obviously not the behavior of someone who should be in charge of the FBI. He is protecting criminals, so he has to go, and we will find out what exactly they've got on him. But his actions are criminal, and this has been publicly proven, and he needs to go. If you're in the FBI, march into his office and handcuff him. We'll back you up. Next question.
Hi, Ben. Can you update us on what's going on in Mexico in last week's Monday's report?
Well, I contacted some Mexican sources about this, and they told me that about 100 guardsmen were injured trying to protect the palace. They were overrun, and now they're staging nationwide strikes. It's an ongoing situation, but there's a media blackout. I mean, they're still putting this shine bomb on the TV screens, making it look like everything's normal. But I understand that Mexico is in a state of full revolt. And yo quiero decir Viva Mexico to the Mexicans. Next question.
Hi, Ben. Do you have any information as to what's going on with this civil war in Sudan? Also, do you think there will be military intervention at the end and bloodshed?
I'm going to have to look into that more, but my understanding of what's happening in Sudan is that there is one group that's trying to, get the resources for the Khazarian mafia and also use Sudan as a source of child slaves. But I need to do more research. I'll try to put that in my report next week. Next question.
Hi, Ben. Another year coming to a close now, 2025, and still no end of the war in sight. Just another familiar story about how they found a way to fund themselves and kick the can down the road until January 31st. I'm very sick of hearing the terms kick the can and move to the goalposts. It really is getting old. It's also very concerning that you have to repeatedly say on these videos the military needs to get off their butts and arrest these people. Exactly who in the military are you directing these instructions to?
I have, contacts with military intelligence, and they have, it's a large faction that provides, intelligence and many of the videos that we post exposing the cabal. But I've specifically asked the head of MI6 to take action, and also I've reached out to Colonel Douglas Macgregor, and he needs to, get off his butt and get the military to move. Also, Archbishop Carlo Vigano needs to contact his people to get the Italian black nobility off the backs of the military, because that's where the problem seems to lead to. It goes to Italy and the black nobility. So maybe Archbishop Vigano can help. But everybody who knows someone in the military needs to take personal action and ask them that they do something. Enough is enough. But yeah, I do constantly say, why don't you do stuff? And it's always about money. So we somehow have to get the fountain of money away from these people so that the military can get their paychecks without having to obey Satanists. And that means sending troops into the headquarters of BlackRock, into the Federal Reserve Board, and into the BIS to take away their magic money machine. And that will end this show. Next question.
Hi, Ben. We have our last question for today. Per Bobby Kennedy's comments in your weekly report about the chemtrails, he acknowledges that they exist, but tried to act as if he has no idea where these flights originate. I have seen a video of a woman who has found the pilots and the company being paid to perform these flights. At what point is it within legal limits for us citizens to perform arrests on these people?
Well, I think that if we all start arresting them, and you have a right to make a citizen's arrest if you find someone, catch them in the act of committing a crime. That's what we all need to do. We all need to take action. There's so many of these people that unless we all personally take action when we see something that we can make citizens arrest, you have that right. Let's get these people out of power. We're all sick and tired and angry, and it's enough. I want to see them all, on the docket, war crimes tribunals, and we need to make sure never, ever again does such a thing happen. Okay, well, that's what I have to say for myself this week, and I hope to see you again next week.